Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Today we'll be telling you that it seems some movements have started again from countries outside the United States, and surely members of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf or PTI are playing a role in these efforts. They are consistently trying to raise awareness about the release of Imran Khan and the ongoing violations of basic human rights in Pakistan. The goal is to generate public opinion and persuade the authorities there to pressurize the Pakistani government to stop all these practices. We'll be sharing some of those voices and efforts with you. Alongside that, the people of Pakistan have once again been hit with a petrol bomb. The very same government that used to raise storms during Imran Khan's tenure over a 150 rupee or even 12 rupee increase in petrol prices is now silent. It's been 3 years since Imran Khan's government ended, but instead of any improvement, petrol prices have kept rising and are now nearing 300 rupees per litre. It's very likely they'll cross 300. We'll discuss this in detail. There's also some good news related to PIA, which we'll cover. Then we'll touch upon the sugar scandal, political matters, and Salman Akram Raja's latest discussion and further plans. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So first, let's talk about the efforts happening internationally. As I mentioned in the previous vlog, Zulfi Bukhari had to give a very powerful presentation, which he did at the Human Rights Commission of the United States Congress, and he deserves credit for that presentation. In front of various congressmen, he not only presented PTI's case, but Pakistan's case as well. He didn't just speak about the injustices done to PTI, but highlighted the overall current condition of democracy, freedom of speech and judiciary in Pakistan. He talked in detail about the false cases against Imran Khan, the treatment he's receiving in jail, what happened to his family, even shared the details of the Al-Qadr case and how Imran Khan is still imprisoned over it. He explained how military trials have taken place, including a 10-year sentence given to Imran Khan's nephew, despite no serious charges. Others were sentenced to 1, 2, or 10 years by military officers, yet the reasons and evidence behind those decisions remain unclear. The specifics of the alleged crimes are still unknown. It's simply that the sentences were passed. So that's the state of the military trials. Their validity, legality, and fairness are all questionable. Zulfi Bukhari shared how the Supreme Court initially declared these trials unconstitutional and unlawful. Later, however, the government introduced a controversial amendment, the 26th Amendment, and even that was passed by abducting and pressuring members of Parliament to vote in favour. This amendment drastically changed the judicial landscape. Preferred judges were appointed, and favourable decisions began to follow. He also highlighted that it's unprecedented globally for civilians to be tried in military courts, and in Pakistan, even political parties have been targeted with military trials just for protesting. The legality of such actions is in question. Zulfi Bukhari also spoke on the suppression of freedom of expression, media control, and mentioned the martyrdom of journalist Arshad Sharif, who was forced to flee Pakistan but was eventually killed. He said many journalists are currently in exile, having sought asylum abroad because they face arrests, abductions, and legal harassment at home. They can't work or hold jobs. This was all detailed in his presentation. He also discussed the violation of social rights. The right to gather and protest is being denied. When protests were held against the 26th Amendment, brutal shelling occurred, and on November 26th, things escalated further. People were openly shot and martyred. He said 12 to 13 peaceful protesters were martyred, as even the army's own media confirmed how peaceful those demonstrations were and how excessive force was used by the state. Zulfi Bukhari laid out the entire record of the past 3 years. He also talked about election rigging, how first PTI's election symbol was taken away, Imran Khan was convicted, and then on election day itself, irregularities occurred. Main PTI leaders were jailed and remain imprisoned. Despite all this, they claimed to have won 180 seats, which were then taken away through rigging. He essentially summarized the events of the last 3 years. The audience listened intently. Qasim Suri was also present. As a Pakistani, I personally felt deeply ashamed watching the live stream. I kept thinking, what must those foreign congressmen be thinking about our country? What kind of image are we portraying abroad? Many will say PTI just presented a negative image of Pakistan. But no, They didn't create the negative image. Those who committed these acts inside Pakistan are the real culprits. PTI only revealed the truth. Zulfi Bukhari presented the case excellently. Qasim Suri and others were there too, and the congressmen participated as well. Many of them demanded that pressure be put on the Pakistani government to resolve these matters. Zulfi Bukhari even mentioned the recent meeting between Donald Trump and the former Pakistani Field Marshal, saying that it was not well received by the Pakistani community, both in Pakistan and abroad. Additionally, there is news that Imran Khan's son is also expected to visit the United States and meet with key figures. This visit is anticipated to be very important, and its impact will likely be seen in the coming days. I also observed that some people who were initially vocal, but had since gone quiet, are beginning to speak up again. Just yesterday, Zalmay Khalilzad tweeted, "Free Imran Khan," and today a former UK Member of Parliament also tweeted the same, possibly named Claude Webb. So international pressure is once again building. Also, there's news that before the protest planned for August 5th, PTI overseas chapters are planning protests in various countries on different dates, aiming to make this protest campaign global. They seem to be working hard on this. Zulfi Bukhari wore a badge with Imran Khan's picture while giving the entire presentation. Now let's talk about the situation in Pakistan. The people are facing an unending series of problems. You saw that recently petrol and diesel prices were raised. 1 rupee, then another increase just 15 days ago. Now again, prices have been raised by nearly 6 rupees for petrol and 11 to 12 rupees for diesel. Due to these constant hikes, the goods transporters have increased their fares by 20%. And this will now affect everything from vegetables to other goods being transported. Because clearly, rising petrol costs have a cascading effect on all commodities. You will start seeing its effects soon. Let me tell you that during Imran Khan's tenure, when petrol prices were rising, the global market was also seeing high petrol prices. But the current situation is that petrol prices in the international market are very low, about 30 to 40% lower than they were during Imran Khan's time. Yet the per-litre fuel price in our country is almost double compared to what it was in Imran Khan's time, so if someone tries to sell you the excuse that fuel is expensive here because it's expensive globally, that's a complete lie. Right now, fuel is cheaper internationally, cheaper than during Imran Khan's time. I think it's around 64 to 65 per barrel, whereas it was over 100 during Imran Khan's government. At that time, petrol here was 130 to 140 rupees per litre, and he capped it at that, not allowing it to rise further. Currently, there's no sign that prices will stop increasing. In fact, there's fear they may go up even more. One reason is their poor economic management, and the second is the harm they've done to the poor people of Pakistan through corruption and fraud. Now take the sugar scandal. It's such a huge scandal, honestly, it's beyond what you can imagine. I've spoken about it before, and now even people from within their own ranks are speaking up. So here's what happened. First, the sugar mill mafia claimed they had excess sugar and asked to export it. Once exported, they earned foreign exchange from it, and that created a shortage in Pakistan. Prices started rising, going above rupees 164 and even crossed rupees 200 per kilogram. Then they said there's a shortage, so we need to import sugar. They profited again on the import. Even the IMF raised questions about this. The IMF said this is not the right way to manage things. You people have no understanding. Sometimes you export, sometimes you import, and then you come to us asking for money. This raises serious concerns for them and affects your negotiations for future loans. When you commit this kind of corruption and fraud, obviously the IMF questions it. Now there's another development. The sugar they've recently imported will arrive by around November. That's exactly when the new sugarcane crop will be ready in Pakistan. Mill owners will have to buy that crop for the crushing season. But because there will be excess sugar in stock, they'll say the sugarcane should be bought at a cheaper price. Who suffers? The common farmer. Just like wheat farmers were devastated, didn't get fair compensation for their hard work, the same will happen to sugarcane farmers. Their crop's value will decrease, they'll be paid less, and again the benefit will go to mill owners. Mill owners will buy cheap sugarcane, produce sugar from it, and sell it at high prices. The profit goes straight into their pockets. This is the vicious cycle they've created. This is why it's called the sugar mafia. They operate like a mafia, looting the public in every possible way. Even a rupees 5 to 10 increase per kilogram gives them billions in profit. This is their entire game, and the bureaucracy is complicit. Government officials support them too. Why wouldn't they? Half of the people in government are directly related to sugar mill owners or are owners themselves. That's why they won't speak out against this fraud. All this looting is happening right from the public's pockets. What's the solution? Honestly, in all my years covering these issues, the only time I saw an actual investigation into the sugar scandal was during Imran Khan's tenure. You may recall names like Jahangir Tareen came up and he later fell out with Imran Khan. Even then, the investigation couldn't go very deep. A report was released, action was supposed to follow, but then things took a different turn. No other government has seriously investigated this. All the illicit profits are shared among them. The wheat scandal, even when Mohsin Naqvi was caretaker chief minister, was huge, but that too was buried. The same is happening now with the sugar case. You'll see, no one will probe this either. So here's my advice. Reduce your sugar consumption. Boycott sugar smartly, not thinking it will punish them and get you relief. They won't punish themselves. Why would they? They're all eating from the same plate. If anyone will suffer, it'll be you. So the best punishment you can give them is to cut down your own use of sugar. It's not even good for health. It causes problems. In my own home, we use very little sugar. If their sugar stays unsold, prices will automatically come down. So think about that. A bit of good news today. The international flight ban on PIA has been lifted. Flights to the United Kingdom are now open again. Earlier, flights to Paris were also resumed. Gradually, various countries are lifting their bans. This ban caused serious harm to Pakistan, to PIA and to passengers. All because of an irresponsible statement by Ghulam Sawar Khan, who was aviation minister during Imran Khan's government. His reckless remarks led Western countries to ban PIA's international flights. Now things have been clarified, and finally the United Kingdom has lifted its ban. PIA flights will resume in the United Kingdom from August 14th. As for Ghulam Sawar Khan, no action was ever taken against him. Instead, he was rewarded. He joined the Istekami Pakistan Party, or IPP. Interestingly, today, Khawaja Asif held a press conference and criticised Ghulam Sawar Khan. But Ghulam Sawar is your coalition partner now. PMLN didn't even put up a candidate against him. When in opposition, they used to criticise him, and rightfully so. But once in power, no action is taken. They are in seat adjustment deals together. So if they truly care about the people and national institutions, they should act against their own allies. But nothing will happen, because in this country action is only taken against those who challenge the establishment. Those under its protection can drown in corruption and no one touches them. Lastly, Salman Akram Raja visited Sialkot Daska, where a family had tragically drowned. He announced compensation grants of 2 million rupees and gave cheques to the family. He also met with Rehana Dar and the Dar family. During this conversation, he said he would sit with Aliya Hamza. He called her his sister and admitted sometimes harsh words are exchanged, but that's in the past. Now, he said, they must unite for the bigger movement ahead. He seemed to realize that his previous tone and behavior were not appropriate, and today he showed a change in tone. This was a positive gesture by Salman Akram Raja, and unity is essential if they truly want to lead a movement. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.